The Chicago Bears make a big-time addition to their offensive staff. They hired Thomas Brown to be their passing game coordinator. What's going on, guys? I'm back with another Chicago Bears news update video, which I'll be doing anytime the Chicago Bears news going on. This is my second back-to-back video I'm releasing today because the Bears made another move today. Okay, they're rounding out the rest of their staff. There's only one more position group they have to hire. I think the running backs coach should be the only one left according to my knowledge, unless I'm forgetting about somebody. But yeah, this is the second to last hire that we made, and it is a damn good one because Thomas Brown, guys, was being interviewed by some teams to be their head coach, by other teams to be their OC, and the Bears got him to be their passing game coordinator. That's a pretty big time get for Shane Waldron to get a very respected coach to be in a lesser role on his staff. The only reason why that happened was because, obviously Shane Waldron knew him from his time working with the Rams. Both Shane Waldron and Thomas Brown worked under Sean McVay during their time with the Rams, so they kept a close relationship with each other, and he saw a big-time opportunity here in Chicago, and that excites me so much as a Bears fan that so many respected coaches want to come here to Chicago and be a part of what we are building and work with Coach Eberflus, which I fully admit, okay, I was not on board with the decision to keep Eberflus over hiring guys like Jim Harbaugh, like Mike Vrabel, etc., etc. And I'm still not the biggest fan of keeping Eberflus, but with how good of a staff he has built on both offense and defense, I can't complain too much. Okay, the Bears have a solid staff on both sides of the football. So, really solid addition here. Let's talk more about what Thomas Brown brings to the Bears and what his history has been coaching in both college football and the NFL. So, Thomas Brown is 37 years old. He started out playing football himself. He was a running back at Georgia, had a pretty nice career there, got drafted into the NFL in 2008 as a 6th round pick. And then as a coach, he started out coaching at his alma mater at Georgia as a strength and conditioning coach. Then he went to Chattanooga to be the running backs coach there, went to Marshall to be the RB coach, went to Wisconsin to be the RB coach, went to Georgia again to be the RB coach in 2015, where he helped coach up guys like Sony Michel and Nick Chubb. Very talented running backs. Goes to Miami in 2016 to be the OC and running backs coach. Goes to South Carolina in 2019 to be the RB coach. And then he gets a job in the NFL with Sean McVay with the Rams to be the RB coach in 2020. Impresses Sean McVay and the players a lot, so he gets a promotion to being the assistant head coach and running backs coach. And then the following year, he's also the assistant head coach as well as the tight ends coach. And then he gets a job with the Carolina Panthers to be their OC under head coach Frank Reich, but unfortunately that completely goes off the rails and Frank Reich gets fired eventually, and now he gets a job with the Bears to be their passing game coordinator. And the Bears actually did interview him to be their OC as well, but I'm pretty happy we didn't hire him to be the OC because looking at his resume, I don't think he's ready to be the OC just yet. He's still super young, does not have a whole lot of experience calling plays in this league. He only had a couple games of play calling experience with the Carolina Panthers last year when Frank Reich handed over play calling duties to Thomas Brown. And at first, it looked pretty good. They ended up winning the first game of their season against the Texans when I believe he got the play calling duties, but then Frank Reich took them back over. And that whole time in Carolina obviously was a complete disaster, but that supporting cast was so bad. The receivers on that team were just so incredibly bad, so I don't blame him specifically for not having so much success in the few games that he actually did call plays, because that whole situation was such a chaotic shit show, which nobody really could have had success there. But if you look at his other parts of the resume, I think there's a lot to like here, right? I mean, a ton of work in college football, working with a bunch of different teams, working with a bunch of young players, mostly as a running backs coach because he was a running back himself. But his time working with Sean McVay and Shane Waldron on the LA Rams did probably give him a higher understanding of passing concepts too in this league. I mean, that's why Sean McVay promoted him to being assistant head coach in 2021 when Shane Waldron left, because he respected him and his football knowledge, and they won a Super Bowl that year with him as the assistant head coach. Matt Stafford had a lot of good things to say about him. All the players on the Rams had a ton of good things to say about Thomas Brown, the person and the coach. And he actually was voted as the number 2 offensive coordinator in the NFL by the players. Okay, the players get a poll on who they think the best OC and the best DC are each year, and he was voted by the players as the number 2 OC in the NFL in this league-wide poll of the players, which is just pretty fantastic. I mean, even without having much experience being the OC, players respect him that much to call him the number 2 OC in the NFL, which obviously is not true at this point in time based on his actual body of work. But the fact that the players respect him that much, like to work with him that much, does say a lot of good things about him being on the Bears staff. Okay, I think a lot of the Bears players are going to really respect and admire him like other players in this league have done so, up to this point. And I really do like that he already has experience working with Shane Waldron in the past on that Rams staff, because that relationship being there, is pretty important, especially in the league, which is a pass-heavy league. Like, Shane Waldron is going to have to rely a lot on Thomas Brown to help him in the passing game design, in the passing game, play calling to some extent, right? Like, having a guy to lean on that you respect, that you already have worked with, I think is a big deal, especially when it's a very respected guy like Thomas Brown is. And Brown could be the next in line to be the Bears OC if Shane Waldron does such a good job that he gets hired to be a head coach elsewhere. Like, we do have to consider that possibility where, either Justin Fields or Caleb Williams, whoever it is, has such a good season and Shane Waldron gets hired to be a head coach somewhere else because he already was getting head coaching interest before joining the Bears as the OC. So to have another very respected individual that's coming from the same Sean McVay tree that already knows the system, waiting in the wings to potentially take over, I think is a big deal to keep continuity for whoever the quarterback is. Okay, they won't have to learn a brand new system. They already would have experience working with that play caller, in which case it would be Thomas Brown. He's the passing game coordinator right now, so he would have a lot of direct contact with the players and, coaching them up, coaching up the quarterbacks too, being the passing game coordinator. So I think it's a very good move in that regard to have a guy in here now that can take over if need be. If we win too many games and Waldron does too good, which is the dream scenario, okay? We want that to happen, that our offense is so damn explosive. We're winning so many games that our staff members get poached by other staffs. Okay, that's what all the good teams in the NFL have happened. The 49ers, the Rams, etc., right? So don't want to get too ahead of myself, obviously, but just a very exciting hire for the Bears organization. Like, usually we can't make moves like this where we're hiring people that have such great interest from around the NFL, but for some reason we're getting those guys to be on the Bears coaching staff. And a big reason for that has to be the intrigue of the #1 overall pick. And as much as some Bears fans don't want to admit it, there's a very solid chance the Bears could be drafting a quarterback at #1 overall. Even though I love Justin Fields, you guys love Justin Fields as well. Like, we did him dirty 100% here in Chicago, but just reading the tea leaves and looking at what people around the NFL are saying, NFL reporters, people that are actually plugged in, it seems like everybody expects the Bears to draft Caleb Williams at #1 overall. The only people pushing against that are Bears fans. Like, I don't want to be delusional. Like, obviously I love Fields. I still wish it worked out here in Chicago, but it just seems like the Bears are going to be drafting a quarterback. And, it's too early to say that for sure at this point in time. But if they do draft a quarterback this year, that quarterback is going to be put in a position to succeed unlike any other quarterback, rookie quarterback in Bears history. With this coaching staff, with the weapons we could have with DJ Moore, with maybe drafting Rome Odunze, Malik Neighbors if he falls to us somehow, or acquiring other guys in free agency. The Bears still have so much money to spend in free agency. We have an emerging young offensive line. Like, this could be a very good situation for a young quarterback, even though we did our previous quarterbacks dirty. Caleb or Drake May, whoever it is, could be getting a damn good coaching staff and a damn good team potentially. And making a move like this is definitely going to help. So leave your comments down below, guys. What do you guys think about this hire? I'm personally very excited because I think that this could mean more than just being a passing game coordinator. Down the road, he could be our OC and maybe even an assistant head coach eventually, like he was with Sean McVay, because he is so respected around the league between the coaches and the players. Leave your comments down below. As always, bear down.